Shelf. Alright, welcome to Top Shelf Board Games. This is how to play Champions of Midgard. So the object of the Champions of Midgard is to collect the most fame over the course of the game. Fame is acquired by by completing destiny cards. Each destiny card has a requirement, and if you are the only one that has completed it, you'll get the maximum amount of points. If you're tied, you'll get the less amount of fame for it. Destiny cards, each of them are different, and you'll get those over the course of the game. You also can collect sets of monsters. For each set of monsters that you have, you get five victory points. A set requires 1 yellow, 1 red, and 1 blue monster. You can also get them by having runes. Runes are also collected over the course of the game, and all used and unused runes will collect you fame at the end of the game as indicated on the card. So for this one, knowledge will get you 3 victory points at the end of the game. You can also gain fame by building personal boats. The personal boats will go in your play area, and you'll get the indicated fame at the end of the game. You also get fame for having the favorite of the gods, which are these little favor tokens. For every one of these that you have, you'll get 2 fame at the end of the game. Also, for every 3 coins that you have at the end of the game, you'll collect 1 victory point. Fame is also gained during the course of the game by defeating both the trolls and the monsters. Defeating the monsters will give you fame as indicated on the card. Also, on the right side of the card, you'll get gold or favor or other things. And so that's other ways to get fame. All right, so let's go over how the game plays. It's a worker placement game at the heart of it. When you place your worker on a space, you'll immediately do the action of that indicated space. For instance, the smokehouse, I'll take one food or all the food from this spot. Over the course of the game, food will be building up, and I would be able to take all that food and put it in my play area. Likewise, you would continue to play one worker at a time until everybody's played their workers down, taking the actions that each space does. We'll go briefly over these spaces. The smokehouse, you'll take all the food. The blacksmith, you'll take all of the black warriors that have made their way there. Up here, you can take all of at the hafter spot, you take all of the red warriors that have accumulated. The swordsmith will allow you to take all of the white warriors that have accumulated there. The market is where you can trade resources, a 1-for-1 ratio, so you can trade as much as you want. You can turn food into gold or gold into wood and vice versa. The Jarl's Longhouse allows you to take 1 warrior, 1 swordsman from the supply, and also take the first player marker. The Runesmith allows you to pay 1 wood to gain one of these face-up ruins. Remember, they also give you victory points at the end of the game. The Hunting Grounds, you'll place a worker there, and then during the combat phase, any unassigned warriors will hunt for you, and every success you get will give you food. The Sage's House is where you can draw the destiny cards. You also get to look at one of these face-down journey cards to see what's under there. And then you'll take a destiny card, and you can gain points at the end of the game by completing the destiny card. The Stav Church is where you can turn coins into favor. The more coins you turn in, the more favor you gain. You also have the worker huts. The first one to go there will get your extra worker, and it costs you $5. For every person who goes here after that will pay less coins to get their worker from the indicated space. So that allows you to get your extra worker. You also have random military and economic buildings that will be placed out. For this game, we can go here and pay 1 coin to gain 1 white and 1 red warrior. Or we can go to the generous merchant and gain 1 wood and 1 food. The merchant ship down here, you can pay a coin and take the indicated resource. It's usually food or warriors. The merchant ship brings various things throughout the course of the game. Once all of your workers have been placed, you will assign warriors to the monsters that you're attacking. We'd start up here at the troll. I would decide how many warriors I want to send. My board, if I have the indicated warriors on my board, you can have a maximum of 8 warriors on your board. So you'll assign them to the spaces that you want to attack. So I'll assign those 2 warriors up there. My dragger over here that I'm going to fight, I will send, if you look on him, he's immune to the black warriors. So my axemen won't do any good, so I'm not going to send any of them. I'll send 2 of my red warriors up there. Down here, the green player has decided that she's going to sail across over to fight the monsters on the distant shores. So she's got to send the amount of warriors that she wants to send, as well as food to feed her warriors on the journey. The ship has a capacity of 10, and it costs a coin to use it. 10 is the total number of warriors plus food that is sent over. Traveling to the monsters that are farther away, which is this space. It's a 1 food for 1 warrior, so I need at least 3 food to travel, which gives me a capacity of 6. If I was to travel over to one of these other spaces, it would only be 1 food for every 2 warriors. Once all of the warriors have been assigned, we then go and resolve the combat. For the hunting ground space, if you have a worker there, any unassigned warriors, you'll go ahead and roll. And for every success that you get, you'll take a food from the supply. So I would take 1 food from the supply for this roll. Once that's complete, we go to the troll. I would attack the troll. Each monster has a defense value. That's how many successes that you need to roll. And this is how many wounds you're going to take every time you attack this monster. Damage is simultaneous, so even if you defeat him, he's still going to kill 2 of your warriors. So we'd roll the dice. I got 1 success, so I would place a wound on there. I would then take 2 damage, which, since I only have 2 warriors, I would lose both of my warriors and would fail to defeat the troll. At the end of a round, if nobody's been able to defeat the troll, everybody is given a blame token. Blame tokens at the end of a game will cost you victory points. So you want to get rid of your blame tokens. The way you get rid of these blame tokens is to defeat the trolls. Defeating the trolls allows you to take one of your blame tokens and give it to one of your opponents. Alright, if I had more dice, I would continue to roll and assign damage until, and I would lose 2 more, and then I would attack again. And if I had rolled a success, I would now have defeated the troll. Once you defeat a monster, you take the indicated fame and any resources that it gives you. So the troll that you take, this one gives you 5 victory points. You get to take 1 of your blame tokens, give it to an opponent, and you gain 1 wood. Likewise, we would go to the dragger space, and from the left to right, we would start with this first dragger. I need 2 damage to defeat him. So I would roll. I got my 2 successes, which kills the dragger, and he does 1 damage to me, so I'd lose 1 warrior to the supply. My other warrior would go back to my player board. I would take the dragger, gain the indicated resource, 4 fame and 2 gold, and put it in my supply. It'll count towards that set of monsters I need at the end of the game. Once the draggers have been all fought, you'll go down to the long ships and the monsters across the sea, starting from left to right. The first ship will flip over the journey card, and you would do the action that's on there. For instance, this one is lose 1 axeman. So I lose 1 axeman. So I would have to pay a 1-to-1 ratio, which I had 3 warriors there. I lost 1 warrior. I've now made it to the combat phase where I need to fight this lindworm. I need 3 attacks in order to defeat it, and it's going to deal 2 damage. So I've got 1 chance here to defeat him. So I roll, and I got 3 successes, which is enough to kill the lindworm. Also kills both of my warriors. But I would collect the lindworm. It's worth 13 victory points. And I would also gain 1 favor token. During combat, if you roll poorly, you can spend favor tokens to re-roll 1 or all of your dice. You can continue to do this as long as you have favor tokens to pay. Once all the monsters have been attacked, the round will end. The cleanup phase take place, where all of workers will be returned to your player boards. Gold will be placed on the monsters down here that have not been defeated, making these monsters more valuable when you defeat them on future turns. We'll advance the marker up here. We'll go back to the first step of a turn order, which is setup. This is where all of the blue spaces will gain the indicated resource. So we would put a food here, a blacksmith there, and a red one here, a white one there. And we would continue to do that. We would take the trolls, replace it with a new troll. The draggers would also be replaced. And we would be set up to start the new round of placing workers out. This continues over the course of 8 rounds. At the end of 8 rounds, you'll score that final phase with all of your destiny cards, your rune cards, your monsters you've collected, the sets that you've collected, and whoever has the most fame wins the game.